Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Heini. I'm Heini and today we're going to do a Vinyasa flow sequence. We're going to go through a full body sequence. We're going to have quite a lot of poses on hands, arms, so strengthening upper body, but we'll get up and do some balancing poses as well. Let's get started. I have in detail videos of some of the asanas that we do in this sequence, and I'll add a link to those videos at the end of this video, so you can check them out later if you want to learn maybe a bit more about certain poses. But let's get started with our Vinyasa flow practice, and we're going to start in child's pose. So I'm suggesting that we come into child's pose to begin with. You can either have your legs wider apart if you want, or bring legs close together. Where do you feel you could find a comfortable, easy child's pose for the beginning of your practice? You could lean head all the way down to the mat, or maybe bring hands under head if that allows you to release the neck more. And just take a moment to breathe in this child's pose. Checking into your breath and allowing the breath to calm down, even slow down. We're going to do a flowing practice and would like to have the breath there to lead us through the practice, kind of giving us a rhythm, giving us a calm pace for our movements, for our sequence. So take just a moment to calm down the breath. And if Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, this might be a good moment to find that gentle ocean sound, gentle Ujjayi breath. We'll take another 3 to 5 breaths in that child's pose. Allow those few more exhalations to soften any tension there might be in your body now. Tension that you don't need right now. And then slowly with your next few breaths, bring yourself up into a seat. And you can choose to stay seated on your shins, on your feet, or you could come into a cross-legged seat. Which one would be more comfortable for you now? We're going to stay here a little while. Bring first arms behind the back, interlock fingers. And then inhale to open the chest, opening into the shoulders. Sending a few breaths to the chest. You could look higher up. You can also leave your chin closer to the chest. One more breath in and out. And then exhale, release your arms and now bring hands in front of you. Again, interlock fingers, turn your palms away from the chest and exhale, round the back. So now looking for a bit more rounded shape in the upper back, and you can bring chin down towards the chest, head almost between the arms, and let the hands gently push forward. Take another breath in and out. And then release yourself back to the center. Keep your hands, your fingers kind of loosely interlocked and start to circle the wrist joints. Just kind of few circles one way, few circles the other way. Gently warming up the wrists. We're going to be quite a lot on our hands today. So important to get the wrists warmed up, woken up before we go on to our hands. Couple more gentle circles. Good. You can shake the hands a bit. And then from your seat, come up onto hands and knees. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cows with a moving tail. First side, lengthen your right leg behind you and lift the right foot off the mat. Open the chest, inhale here, and then exhale round the back and draw your right knee in. Hip can come down to the knee. Inhale again, lengthen the right leg back, open the chest, and exhale, draw the right knee in, rounding the back. Once more, inhale, lengthen the right leg back, open the chest, and exhale, round the back, draw the right knee in. And then inhale, lengthen the right leg behind you, but this time bring your toes onto the mat. And we're going to cross the right leg over to the left side of the mat. And then exhale, look towards that right foot. You can even walk hands to the left side of the mat, like you're looking towards the tail, opening the right side of the body. Inhale, exhale there. And then exhale, come back to the center, release that right leg, bring both knees on the mat and round the back into child's pose. Just a couple of breaths here so you can release your wrists, your hands, maybe turn palms up to the ceiling. Breathe in and out. And then inhale, come back onto hands and knees. We do same to the other side. We're going to now lengthen the left leg behind us. Open the chest and slowly lift the left leg up into the air. Inhale. And then as you exhale, round the back and bring your left knee in towards the chest. Inhale again, lengthen the left leg back, open the chest. And exhale, round the back, draw your left knee in. You can bring head down to the knee. And one more full round. Inhale, lengthen the left leg back, open the chest. And exhale, round the back, draw your left knee in. And then exhale, step your left foot down to the mat behind you. And now cross your left foot over to the right side of the mat. And slowly start to look towards that left foot, kind of over the right shoulder. And you can even walk hands more to the right side of the mat. So now we're opening the left side of the body. You can think about reaching the left heel away from the left shoulder. One more breath in and out. And then exhale, come back to the center. Bring both knees to the mat and just rock a bit from side to side. And from here we're going to lift up into downward dog. So now tuck your toes under and exhale, lift the pelvis up. You can adjust where the hands and feet are. Let the hip drop down. And then we're going to go into our first Vinyasa flow from here. We're going to inhale, come forward to plank. Keep your upper back wide. As you exhale, come down into low plank. You could have your knees on the mat. Try to hover off the mat. And then inhaling to upward facing dog, opening the front. And exhale back into downward dog. And at this point, you might need to adjust where the hands and feet are. Shake the head a bit. Breathe in and out. And then as you inhale, lengthen your right leg up into the air behind you. And as you exhale, step the right foot forward to your hands. Next inhalation, step your left foot forward. And then exhale, fold down and forward, so coming into full forward bend. You'd shake the head a bit. If you want, you can hold elbows in front of the legs, even rock a bit from side to side. One more breath in and out, slowly releasing the hands down. And then inhale, roll the back up, coming all the way up to standing. And you could lengthen arms up towards the ceiling, open the chest. Exhale, bring hands together in front of the chest. Mountain pose. Breathe in and out here. And then we continue down to chair pose. Either feet together or hip width apart. Inhale. And exhale, bend your knees, lower the pelvis down. You can tilt your back forward, tilt the pelvis forward. Long line from head to tail. Inhale, exhale here. And then with your next exhalation, bring right hand, the back of the hand to the outside of the left knee. And inhale, twist to the left side. You can lengthen left arm up or bring left arm behind the back. Breathing here in and out. And then with your next exhalation, come back to the center, bring palms together. Next exhalation, bring left hand, the back of the left hand to the outside of your right knee. And then inhale, twist towards the right side. Again, you can either lengthen right arm up or bring right arm behind the back, opening the chest. Inhale and exhale here. And the next exhalation, come back to the center. And then reach arms behind the back. Again, interlock fingers, open the chest. And exhale down into full forward bend. And this time, arms could come down behind the back. Or leave hands onto your lower back. What feels good in your shoulders now? Let the head drop down. Take another breath in and out, keeping legs active, pressing down through the feet. And then exhale, release the hands and arms down. You can bend your knees. And we're going to go through another Vinyasa flow. So step or jump your feet back into plank. Inhale in plank. And then exhale to low plank. Again, either knees on the mat or legs extended. And inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog. Take a couple of breaths in and out. You can shake the head a bit. And from here, we're going to come up into our balancing poses. Warrior 3 and standing twist. With inhalation, lengthen the right leg up again. And then exhale, step right foot under your belly or chest. And inhale, start to lift yourself up into Warrior 3. So lifting the left up, and then once you've found your balance, lift hands off the mat. Arms come maybe next to the sides, or you can bring palms together in front of the chest. Breathe in and out here. And then as you inhale, lift your back up, bring your right knee towards the chest, arms lengthening up. And exhale, twist to the left side, towards that left knee. You could bring your right hand to your left knee, supporting the knee up. And breathing here. If you want, you can even look to the left hand, but find a point for your gaze. That's something that's not moving, you can focus on. Good. And then slowly exhale, release the twist. Now step your left leg back, bring hands down, and we're going to come into another Vinyasa flow. So step your both feet back to plank, inhale, and exhale to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, reaching the pelvis up. Breathe in and out a couple of times. You can shake the hip. And we'll come and balance on the other side. So now as you inhale, send your left leg up into the air. And exhale, step left foot under the belly or under the chest. And we slowly lengthen the right leg up. And again, once you have your balance, start to lift your hands off the mat. And you could extend that standing leg, or you could still keep the left knee bent. Arms could be next to your sides, or maybe palms together in front of the chest. With inhalation, lift your back up. And now bring your right knee towards the belly, towards the chest. Arms reaching up. And then we're going to twist towards the right. So as you exhale, turn your chest towards the right side, towards the right knee. And you can bring left hand to support the right knee. Right arm reaching behind you, and potentially even look to your right hand. Again, make sure you're not looking and then falling down. So keep your gaze somewhere where you can still focus on balancing. Take one more breath in and out. And exhale, release the twist. Good, and slowly step your right foot back. Bring hands down, and again we go into a Vinyasa flow. With exhalation, come down to low plank, and inhaling upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, and take a couple of breaths in and out. You can shake the head a bit. And then with your next exhalation, bring your both knees onto the mat and come down into child's pose for a few breaths. Release the arms and give yourself a few slightly deeper breaths here. Maybe hands under the head if that helps. And take one more breath in and out, and then we'll continue our flow. If you start to feel that you want to skip the Vinyasa flows, you can always come into child's pose instead. With your next couple of breaths, bring yourself back onto hands and knees. Again, tuck the toes under and exhale, lift the pelvis up. And now from this downward dog, as you inhale, again, lengthen the right leg up into the air behind you. And exhale, come forward to plank. Bring your right knee towards the chest. And then inhale again, lift your right leg up. Allow head to come down. And exhale, coming again forward to plank, right knee to the chest. Once more, inhale, lift your right leg up, head can drop down. And then exhale, bring your right knee forward. And now open your right hip so you can bring your shin on the mat. And then bend the left knee. We come sitting down in deer pose. So you're sitting down onto your right hip, left leg behind you. Lean onto your right hand next to the right hip, and then inhale, lift your pelvis up, opening through the front line from left knee up to the left arm. If you want, you can bend your left elbow so your hand is supporting the neck, supporting the head. Breathe in and out. And then exhale, slowly release the pose, bring pelvis down. And now turn so that you can extend your left leg and still leave your right knee bent. So in half butterfly pose, we're going to inhale, lengthen back, lengthen arms up. And exhale, leaning forward over that left leg. You could bring hands on the mat next to the leg, or bring hands around the left foot, or maybe around the left ankle or shin. As you inhale, reach your back forward. Exhale, release yourself just a tiny bit further down. Another 2 breaths. Inhalation, lengthening forward. Exhalation, releasing down. Keep the front of that left leg active. 1 more breath. Inhaling, reaching forward. And exhale, bending down, releasing hip down. And then as you inhale, lengthen your back all the way up. And turn back to the top of the mat. Step your hands to the top of the mat. Turn your pelvis towards the mat so you can tuck your left foot toes under. And then step right hand under right shoulder. And inhale, turn pelvis, turn chest to the long side of the mat. So gate pose, and you can either stay here with your right knee on the mat, or bring left foot down and extend your right leg. So coming into side plank, you could have your right foot in front of the left and pressing down through that right arm, left arm reaching up. Good, still breathing. And then exhale, bring your hands down and step back into downward dog. You can adjust hands, you can adjust feet. And now you can choose either Vinyasa flow or come down into child's pose. If you want to go through the flow, inhale to plank, exhale to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale into downward dog. And now if you are in child's pose, bring yourself back into downward dog. And then with your next inhalation, lengthen the left leg up into the air. As you exhale, come forward to plank. Bring left knee towards the chest. Inhale, lengthening the left leg up. Head can drop down. And exhale again, forward to plank. Left knee coming towards the chest. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen your left leg up. Head can drop down. And then exhale, come forward to plank. And now open your left hip. So you bring your left shin on the mat. Bend your right knee so that you can now sit down onto your left hip, arriving into that deer seat on the other side. Step left hand on the mat next to the left hip. And inhale, lift your pelvis up. Now we're opening the line from right knee to the right arm. Again, you can choose to bend the right elbow. Maybe the hand is supporting the neck, supporting the head. You can also look down to the mat. Take 1 more breath in and out. And then exhale, release down. Bring the pelvis down, bring the arms down. And again, turn so that you can extend your right leg in front. Have left foot on the inside of that right leg. And from there we go into that forward bend. Inhale, lengthen up through the back, through the arms. And exhale, leaning forward. And either release hands down to the mat next to the leg. Or you can bring hands around the right foot. Or maybe around the right ankle. Just for support. Don't pull too much with the arms. Each inhalation, lengthening the back forward. Exhalations, releasing down. So it's like a wave going through the spine. Each breath is like a wave. Another 2 breaths in and out. Finding your rhythm, your pace in your breath. And then after those 2 breaths, With the next inhalation, lengthen your back up. And then once more, step hands to the top of the mat. So turning the front of the pelvis to the mat. And now we're going to step left hand under left shoulder and come into the gate pose. So first, turn your pelvis, your chest to the other long side of the mat, and you can either stay here, keep your left knee on the mat, or ground your right foot more, and then you can extend your left leg so that you have your both legs straight. You're in a side plank. Keep lengthening up through that right arm and pressing down through that left arm. Take one more breath in and out. And then exhale, bring hands down and step your both feet back. We are back in another downward dog. Now we've stayed a long time on the arms, so you'd be very welcome to come down into child's pose, or we could add another last vinyasa flow here if you want. You could inhale forward to plank and exhale to low plank. Inhaling upward facing dog and exhale to downward dog. And then after your flow, if you are still in downward dog, now come down into child's pose and release the arms. If you want, you could turn palms up to the ceiling, or maybe bring hands together behind the neck, behind the head, and give a bit of movement for the wrists here. Let the breath calm down. Take another few breaths in child's pose. And then slowly with your next few breaths, come forward onto hands and knees, and then cross your ankles, cross the shins, and sit over the ankles, over the shins, onto the pelvis. And we're going to come lie down on the back. So now make yourself comfortable lying down on the back. And you could even extend your legs all the way down. So for a moment, let your whole body rest on the mat. And take a few deeper breaths in and out. Good. We're going to come into one more twist from here. So when you feel ready, hug your right knee in towards the chest, towards the belly. And then bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and slowly, slowly start to guide your right knee towards the left side of the mat. Now it doesn't need to come down to the mat. You can keep it happily off the mat, off the floor. And if this feels painful in the back, then bend your both knees. So you could have your left knee under the right knee, so that you can come into a twist where you can allow your chest to stay open up to the ceiling. You might even open your right arm away from that right leg. Take one more breath in and out. And then exhale, come back to the center, onto your back. And for a moment, hug both knees into the chest. You can rock a bit from side to side. And then we'll come into that twist on the other side. So now hold on to your left leg and extend your right leg all the way down onto the mat. Now right hand on the outside of your left knee or thigh. Exhale, slowly, slowly start to guide your left leg to the right side of the mat and let your whole pelvis go with that leg. Leave your chest open, potentially even open the left arm away from the leg. But that's very optional. You can also leave your hand closer to the body. Again, left knee can stay off the mat. Take 1 or 2 more breaths in and out in your twist. And then slowly, slowly come back to the center. And if you want, once more hug the knees in, rock a bit from side to side. And then in your own time, come down into Shavasana pose in your final resting pose. You could stay lying down on the back if you want. So find your resting pose on the back, maybe legs extended, or maybe you want to have your knees bent. You could lean the knees and thighs against each other. If you have your knees bent, that might be a bit more relaxing for the legs. You can also come lie down on the belly if you want. So allow this to be an easy pose, resting pose. And once you have found your Shavasana pose, bring your full awareness back to your breath. You can close your eyes for a moment. And just allow your breath to calm down. Give your body, give your breath a moment to rest. A very well earned rest at the end of the practice. Allow each exhalation to soften, release effort, release tension in the whole body. If you feel that you need to adjust your resting pose, you're very welcome to change your pose so you feel you can continue resting. Take another 5 to 10 breaths in this resting pose. Allow those 5 to 10 exhalations. Release tension, release effort where you might feel tension in your body now. And then at the end of those 5 to 10 breaths, take a couple of slightly deeper breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth like a sigh. Start to bring gentle movement to your fingers and toes. Move your hands and your feet. Move the wrist joints through a few circles. Maybe circle the ankle joints as well. And then lengthen your whole body long. Reach arms over the hip, along the mat, along the floor. Stretch the whole body long. And then release the arms, bend the knees, and slowly roll down onto one side. From your resting pose, come lie down either on the left or on the right side. Breathe in and out there. And then in your own time, bring yourself up into a seat. Come up into your final seat. And that could be any pose, any easy pose of your choice. Maybe legs crossed or maybe sitting on the shins. Where do you feel? You could take another few breaths in and out. Just slowly closing the practice. And if it's part of your practice, you might bring hands together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, thank yourself for bringing yourself onto the mat into your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining in. If you like the sequence, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps these videos. And you can also subscribe to the channel. And if you hit the little bell icon, you'll be notified immediately when I publish a new video. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.